lurker. Say hi in the chat. Like the stream too. Come on now. I can see somebody's watching. If you guess the Pokemon, you'll win a $40 Bambu Lab gift card. Boy, is it my music or my annoying voice that's driving people away? That's the real question. I promise this is going to end up being a Pokemon on the hotbed. Give me a minute here, please. Is the microphone even working? That's the real question. Well, we had a lurker or two. 3 people in now. Hey there. Yeah, I do sell some of these. I sell the ones that I made of my own, mostly. These are models that you can just find on Maker World. But yeah, I definitely sell them. I've got all my contact information linked in the channel description, actually. Not sure if you're listening with the audio or not, so I'll type it in the chat too. Thanks for asking. Is the mic working? Can you hear me? I don't know if my mic's working. I just got this brand new mic. First time I'm using it. Seems like it's working in the software. I don't want to turn my audio on the computer because it might feedback and sound ugly. Oh, nice. Thank you. Thanks for confirming that. Yeah, I don't know if you're on Maker World, but my contact information, that's where I'm at on Maker World. I actually post the models that I would sell that I've made on there if you didn't have a printer to print them yourself. Nope, not Blastoise. Good guess though. Maybe I used the color blue to throw you off. Nice guess though. The first time I'm using the Wham Bam build plate. Like everything that comes off of that actually touches the build plate is supposed to look like glass. I'm interested to see if this actually works as good as the textured plate that I've been using. It's kind of blue. I'll go ahead and say that it's purple normally. How about that? What if I give it that it's normally purple? It is a little unfair. How's that? Is that more fair? Right on. So if you make it up on your own, I mean, that's literally my model. Like, no, I didn't just like rip the model or anything like that. So, I mean, as long as you haven't like taken the model straight out of a video game, I don't think there's anything that they can really do about that. I mean, it literally counts as just like fan art at that point. Nope, we did Gengar already. Nope, good guess. It's got 4 legs. Yeah, you can go down a rabbit hole looking for cool stuff to print. They removed my Ninetales, but that was only because I didn't actually put a fully printed version of it out on there. Ah, ditto. Good guess, but nope. So now I have it back up there. I was able to finally print and prove that it's a good, valid print. But yeah, I got this back up there. Yep, 4 legs. And it's purple. I might have given it away. That really narrows it down, doesn't it? No, 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 no. Good guess. All right. Yeah. All of them could be it, but no. No. I go with bamboo, and that's mostly because I get the filament free from bamboo by using my points. I've uploaded, I think, like 8 models to Maker World now. And when you upload to Maker World, they give you a little like points that you can then redeem for a lot of different things. You can get like model kits that help, or maker kits with like motors and tiny little screws and things like that you could actually use to actually make money. So what I've been doing is I've actually been getting filament with my points. And so you can't beat free filament. Yeah, see? At this point, I've got, I think, 8 rolls, and I think 4 of those are still in the box they came in. So I haven't even looked inside of them to dry some of them out for actual use yet. Yep, and that's why I've been giving away the gift cards, because I can use some of the points. Instead of buying filament, I could just go ahead and give it out. Well, but it looks like you got it. Pro 11. You guessed it. It is Espeon. Look at that. So you get a gift card. Remind me of your Maker World name again. Were you the Shovel Knight looking profile pic? Is that yours, if I'm remembering correctly? Are you Godly Pineapple? Why do I think that that's you? Shoot your Maker World profile in here so I can make sure I'm sending the code to the right person. Okay. I'm gonna have to see if I can figure that out then. That sucks. That sucks. I try. I actually care. I'm not a big YouTuber by any stretch of the imagination, so I try. Man, I can't win with giving you a gift card, can I? Man, I'm gonna try and figure it out. I'm gonna see if it's possible. I just don't like getting anybody's information. Like, I don't know, I think YouTube even acts weird with me saying that I'm doing a giveaway at this point. It was nice, huh? Puffco Peak, man. I know it's expensive, but good lord. Right, I was just gonna say I heard Trudeau resigned, so we might have some luck yet. I'm a diehard hockey fan, so I wish I kind of was in Canada every now and then. I'm close. I'm just outside of Detroit, so I'm not far from Canada. We got tons of craziness going on over here. There's nothing but political circus. I guess the only way to really call it around here. Oh man, I've lived in Detroit for 40 years, but I was a Minnesota North Stars fan when I was a kid, probably just to piss my dad off. And when they moved to Dallas, I just stuck with them. So it's been Dallas Stars since I was probably 5 years old. Maybe even younger. It could have been younger. Oh, Toronto. Not far. Not far at all. Nice. Those Leafs, though, right? Think they're going to get past the Bruins? Right? Yeah. I was a kid, and I chose the North Stars. Probably because Madonna was from Detroit, and I'm old. So it was awesome. Yep, Wild. Both teams are actually tearing up, Dallas and the Wild, this year. Still kind of care about the Wild a little bit. I'm happy to see them doing good. Oh yeah, definitely. But you know what? I got to see him win a Stanley Cup in Dallas, and I mean it's still the same franchise. Who was your team? I guess do you even have one? I should ask. No, the Stars are still around. Dallas is still around. I actually made like a really sweet pixel art like rink of theirs, and it's up on DallasStars.com right now for like their t-shirt contest. Oh, Maple Leafs, right on. Right on. I mean, Matthews, Nylander, nice. Think the goaltending will hold up for the playoffs? Yeah, Dallas is still a team. Dallas is definitely still a team. Doesn't seem like it sometimes. I mean, they could have players tearing it up in the league and they'll still want to talk about everybody else. I don't know. I liked it when defense was a really big part of the game. I don't mind the scoring that you get nowadays. But I don't know. It was fun to see a grind out game, even if it wasn't 6-4 at the end of the game. Right? Well, or get hurt. Shoot, with Marner though, I mean, you guys can never seem to get all of them, that whole team, on the same page for long enough to have a run, is what it seems. Yeah, and that goaltending, I mean, when they had Jack Campbell, I was like shaking my head, like, you know what? I guess you'll just got to try anything at this point, because Dallas had him for, God, it felt like 10 years, and just never even could get him out of the minors. I was like, this is going to be fun. Then he had a pretty good year, I think. If I remember correctly, he had a pretty solid first year with you guys. Everybody was talking about him having like some renaissance. This probably would have been a good multicolor 3D print. I should have just left it and made it awkward colors just because I don't have the exact purple and everything. Probably still would have looked cool with multiple colors. A little bit of a dry spell. Yep. Oh, you know what? I got to sit here and see it happen in Detroit after like 50 years or whatever, so the payoff can be pretty sweet. Man, I remember the Leafs, man. They've had so many players that you think, like, man, how could they not put it all together? Just looked like legends, like Sundin. Like, I remember it was just like the doldrums. It was like middle of the road every year. And it's like, you know, you got to get bad to get good, it seems. And I don't know, it seems like the Leafs went through that era kind of like Detroit did, where you had to make a change. You know, you had to either do something drastic and improve the team or go the other way. And it looks like the Matthews and drafting has definitely paid off as far as recently. Yeah, I'm going to try to find all of them if I can, all the evolutions. I made my own Umbreon and Jolteon. But yeah, all the rest of them, I got mine up. The Umbreon and the Jolteon, I got those up on Maker World before anybody had really gotten any of the other Pokemon up there. And then I took a little while off from modeling. I think I started doing other stuff to actually make projects that I was going to be able to sell. And a bunch of other people started making the evolutions and posting them up there. So I just started getting away from doing it, but I'm probably going to get them all sitting on my computer desk or shelf eventually. That's just what's cool about being able to just go online and find something. You literally just type Pokemon into Maker World and 1,000 things come up. Right? You can even do like Pokeballs as like cool display cases. So you could scale it down and print it in a Pokeball. Or print a Pokeball for it. I mean, there's every single damn Pokeball you could imagine on Maker World too. Speaking of hockey, I 3D printed these bad boys for all my hockey cards. So that's probably my second favorite print on Maker World right now, because you could either hang it up or put on the little stand. Right. Yeah, I mean all the sharing platforms are fine. I mean, an STL is an STL. Got these two. But yeah, these little things are sweet. I just kept making them. There was like a month that all I did is have these things coming off my printer. But yeah, that was the biggest problem when I was opening packs of cards, thinking about what the hell I was gonna do with all my base cards. And so I'm gonna just make like big old huge mural on my wall. Oh no, the clear part is literally just a top loader. A top loader just slides right into there. And the two pieces just kind of go together and it smashes the top loader into place. You could put magnets in there so that it easily comes apart, but I just printed little plastic pegs that were the size of the magnets, and you just gotta pry it out of there instead of it easily coming apart from magnets. But yeah, just your normal plastic top loader case is all that's needed for that, and it gives it that plexiglass look. Yep, there's other ones you can do. And hell, you could probably use like a clear PET G to even make like a, just a faux clear window like that. Or even clear resin. I was thinking about doing clear resin and making like a display case for my Pokemon out of the clear resin. Still something I'm throwing around. But I gotta go out and buy more resin if I'm gonna end up doing that, because I got a lot of Pokemon, obviously. Wish there was more new printers coming out to talk about, but it's pretty much been quiet from everybody. I guess Prusa came out with their Core XY machine, but I don't know. I don't really know what market that's going for. It's too expensive and it's got an awkwardly shaped bed for me. I feel like this bed is already kind of restricting me to a lot of things I want to end up doing. Especially when you consider warping. That's probably the biggest problem I'm having with my X1 right now, is if I make anything big and flat, like all around the edges look kind of like the print head's digging into it as it goes over it, because it's warped up on the side, and after it's leveled, it's not realizing that the print head. Gel printing? Alright. That's interesting. You know anything about that? That's the first I've ever heard of that. So you basically, instead of having like a roll of filament, have just kind of like a UV activated gel or something like that, kind of like a resin. That's interesting. I saw like a Core XY printer like this, but it moved on magnetic rails, that I thought that might actually be really cool. There'd be a lot less moving parts in something like that, you'd think. Yeah, gel printing's got to be something like uses like a UV light to cure it as it lays it down or something. That's what I would think. Almost like a gel resin, because that's how resin printing is. It just passes the UV light over each layer. Okay, so it's supposed to get rid of the support. Okay. Yeah, I could get behind that. I've got a box that is full of wasted filament. It's either like broken, failed prints, but mostly support that I've had to just throw away. All these Pokemon, I mean, look at this one. I mean, this one all in the front right now is pretty much support. Really was unfair to have anybody guess what this was, huh? It didn't even have the right color, and that support looks horrible in front of it. Right, I would love to be able to get rid of support. Sign me up. Get me that gel printer. I'm gonna have to look into that. Maybe that's a future channel topic. Maybe I can get big enough to get invited to one of these conferences. Yeah, I think I showed everybody that giant box of plastic that I got in the printing room. Pretty sure I showed that. God, I got my mic issue sorted out. Damn webcam was giving me a freaking headache every time I tried to start a stream. It was like a coin flip if it was going to actually work or not. Let's see, 3D printing with gel. Gel 3D printing. Rapid liquid printing, is that what we're talking about? Why gel-based 3D printing is the way forward. Well, they seem massive. It seems to believe 3D printing with gel is the way forward. So yeah, it looks like it is like it's curing UV light. Look at that. Boom, called it. Fast moving smart algorithms as well as proprietary photo polymeric gel that cures almost instantly with exposure to UV light. Look at that. I might not know everything, but I knew that. Oh yeah, I've got my MacBook over here. Sorry, I got too much shit going on through this streaming app to fuss with that. Hence, why I went out and bought a new mic. The streaming app was not loving my mic before I got this new one. So, good call though. But yeah, that's kind of just like I thought. It kind of lays it out there and then uses a UV light to quickly kind of go over it as it's passing. So yeah, like you said, you know, you you could have a layer come over, you know, where it comes out over like this. But since the light is curing it as it's passing, you know, you're just creating. Yeah, you know, with anything new, that's going to be it. It's going to cost money. I bought an Apple Vision Pro. Trust me, I know exactly about buying something new and being charged for it. I wouldn't say it was a smart purchase at all. Don't buy one. Buy a 3D printer with gel though. I'd buy that. Clean out the old puff coat really quick. Right. It was cool at the time. Yeah, heck, I've only been into 3D printing for like 2 years. Everybody would always tell me like, man, you need to get into 3D printing. Like, you of all people, I can't believe don't have a 3D printer. Because I was always modeling and doing crazy shit on a computer. I remember the first time I looked at a slicer, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to pass on this. I think that's got to be the biggest barrier to entry. Like, you can download a 3D model and you can throw it through, you know, a slicer without touching it onto your printer, and it's 50-50 what you're going to get off of there is actually going to be a quality print. So, I don't know if I was going to recommend for anybody getting into 3D printer, look up slicer settings, pay attention to it, and I know it's boring, but it's super important to be able to see what your printer's doing and then make the adjustment. Because I know just from the models I've posted, like, I mean, I've got almost 1,000 likes on my Umbreon, and I still have people that'll rate it every now, like, this is a shit print, man, I can't believe you'd post this thing for people to try and print and waste filament. And it's like, sorry you had a bad time, man, but, you know, all of these profiles are not gonna work on every printer. You know, you try to test it and make sure it's gonna work as good as you can for as many, but there's no guaranteeing that somebody's printer is even gonna be clean for your profile to work right. You know what? You're on the right place to learn though, because I didn't know anything about 3D modeling at all. Like, I knew nothing about 3D modeling, 3D printing, and YouTube taught me to make this. I didn't rip this. I watched tutorials. I learned. It was trial and error. You suck at first, it's horrible. But eventually, you know, you stick with it. You find the people that know what you're missing, fill in the blanks. You could learn. I bet you could learn. A P1S, I should have got a P1S first. I so wish I would have started with a P1S instead of the X1C. Because I just now, I mean, TPU, I don't think you need, no, I think a P1S can print TPU. So I don't think I've done anything yet that requires the X1C for what that's worth. Yep, Blender. That's what I learned. I mean, there's so many Blender tutorials out there. You know, start out small. You know, learn how to build a box and then cut it into pieces. You'd be surprised how far like just that skill will take you. And it is a skill because there's a lot of knowing Windows and what does what when you're dealing with Blender. I haven't tried Fusion 360 yet. I've been thinking about it because there's probably just as many tutorials for that as there are Blender. But I already had Blender, and I already knew a little bit about it before I even started to take that into the 3D printing realm. But yeah, I also made this. It's actually a replica of the Fallout 4 Alien Blaster. Again, I knew nothing, probably 2 years ago, about modeling. And, you know, just from watching tutorials. Oh, yep, that's what I got. I got the Bambu for 4 AMS from Bambu. Again, it was free. And I had the gift card sitting around. I actually really like the green color of that TPU too. I made these, it's gonna be like a mech. It's kind of like the Dummy 13, I don't know if you know what that is. Learning 40. Ha! 4 days into learning. Right on. Nice. But yeah, this is the new TPU for AMS. I love the green. But yeah, this is going to be like a build your own mech model. Got a ton of these little strips to put together. But they got a badass PDF that shows you how to do everything. Right? Yep, that's the whole shoot. That was one of the biggest reasons anyway of why I wanted to get TPU. I was just going to get more PLA or whatever. But I was like, heck, you know what? Might as well. I could actually show what it's going to look like, kind of. Let's see. I think it's this one. So it'll look something like that when it's actually built. But obviously you can do custom colors and materials and everything. Yep, if you're only 4 days in, give it time. You'll be able to post stuff up there, be making enough money to have free filament for years. I had zero skill. I mean, I knew basic computer stuff. I mean, I could build a computer, some basic coding, but nothing as far as modeling. I think the hardest part of modeling is building something and then having to scale it up and then see how that's gonna kind of convert into a 3D print, because some areas might get bigger and or cramped up with support where they get too close. But that's also kind of the fun for me, is being able to try something, see if it works, tweak it, see if you can make it better, more than likely make it worse. You ever used the dissolvable supports yet? I don't know if I've got the guts to try that. Seems like a good concept. But again, going into and knowing the slicer settings, that's helped me kind of look at somebody's model that already has supports on there and kind of see, okay, I know where this is going to be a problem. I know where, these two are going to get too close and be a pain in the ass to remove. So, shoot, once you can actually go in there and know what setting to change, that changes everything as far as your ability to put better profiles online too. Yeah, this would have been a lot better if I hadn't had the support up in the front of that. You can't even really tell what Pokemon that is. I'll try and do better next time. Right. Yep, I've been there. I've definitely been there. Yep, just familiar yourself with like the file types, like 3MF, STL. Once you get those acronyms down, that's the most important thing. But yeah, like .obj, SVG, that's where I'm at now, is dealing with SVGs, where you can take, logos from the internet and turn them into 3D objects. That's kind of been my big thing now, is going around and seeing what kind of logo I would actually make for a really good 3D print. Like, I did a Dallas Stars logo actually not that long ago. A Detroit Tigers. I did a Tigers one. That's too easy, but I made it interesting anyway. Everybody likes the old English D. Those almost sell themselves. You don't even got to do anything. Stack them, offset them, and make them orange and blue. We actually got our first snow. First major snow up here anyway. Probably got like 2 inches. Shocking. Used to normally have like 3 feet of snow out there by now that had fallen. And we maybe have 5 total. I don't know if it's people driving big old trucks that is causing it, but global warming is definitely a thing. At least in Detroit. I don't think we've had a normal winter in 10 years. Yeah, you can actually just download the files. You don't have to open them. So I don't think you can use the app to like download and store them. But I think what you could do is use the app to like start it. And then when you go back into Studio and load that up for the first time, it should have like in the home section your previous models that you've looked at and everything. So I think you can kind of queue them up that way, where if you look at something on the Handy app, that actually, you know, shows up on Studio as like something that you looked at recently, so you can kind of track that. Yeah, let me try. I'm going to actually try that. Let's see. If I go, got my Handy, and let's say models. All right, year of the snake. So I think you can do prepare to print. And then next. And then I think if I back out of this, I can then go back to Studio. Okay, online model. No, I guess not. I guess it doesn't work like that. My bad. I thought it would have worked like that. I think you probably have to start the print. Yeah, I mean your print history is probably going to be your best bet. Yeah, it's not going to load it into the slicer unless you can actually open it. Yeah, it can be print history. Yep, and it's not going to show it unless you actually start the print. Yeah, you need to suggest that for their feedback, because that would definitely improve. Yeah, recently opened online models. Yeah, that sucks. Well, that's a good suggestion. There needs to be more crossover there. Right, exactly. Yeah, the app definitely limits. I mean, it's pretty much like all right, I need to get this printed now, and I don't care about settings or, like you said, resizing it or anything. Just get it printed. Because I have had that where I had downloaded it at first at home, and then made it smaller, And then I was out and about, and I was like, oh shit, I need to start this and get the other plate printed, and I couldn't resize it because I was already out and about. So yeah, I've had that exact scenario bite me in the ass. Right, yeah, like scale, you know, you could just always have it be where it all X, Y, and Z are always, you know, kept the same. So if you change it, you know, it's just make this 50% smaller, make this 125% bigger. You know, that should be pretty easy to just add that into the Handy app. I'm sure they're working on it. I can say that it seems that they don't sit idly. There's a lot of updates specifically to like Maker World and the app, because I think they really think that the app is what sets them apart from just about everybody else right now, because everybody else is admittedly playing catch up to them when it comes to the app, if you ask me. So that gives them the opportunity to sit up ahead of everybody and wait for them to catch up. So who even knows if that's the strategy there, is to just wait for the need to actually add a new feature. Yeah, I'll be honest, I think I forget exactly what video it was, but the very first time I saw, you know, 3D or multicolor 3D printing, it was an X1C, and I was like, well, I'm sold on that. Multicolor was what was the main selling point for me, because I make pen caps for pocket-sized vape pens, and it makes it just look like there's, you know, like a marker or a pen in your pocket instead of a vape pen sticking out. And so being able to actually make them in multiple colors, that was a huge game changer. And I was like, all right, well, now I'm going to do this. Ended up being a good idea. I really like the Clear Pet G too. And a lot of cool, like, crystal-y type stuff you can do with the Clear Pet G. I like that kind of stuff. Yeah, Majora's Mask, that is sick. I'm thinking about doing a mask, so maybe I'll get that one and do it on the channel. That'd be cool. I'll have to see if I've got all the colors for that. That's a good idea. I like that. What did I do? I did the Darth Vader helmet. That's what I was thinking. I knew I did a helmet. I did the Darth Vader helmet on here. $450. I'll print you one for 100. Nah, I wouldn't charge that much for a 3D print. But I guess it's worth whatever somebody would pay for it. They should never Never undersell a product just to sell one. But I learned that with my Paul Reed Smith guitar I sold. I didn't need to sell it, but I wanted to. And so I literally sat with it posted on Reverb for like 2.5 years, just not taking anybody's offer until I got the offer I wanted. Huh, no crap. Oh, so did you buy that Majora's Mask? Did I read that wrong? Yeah, I mean, shoot. I've seen stuff come off of here that you look at it and you think, that's 3D printed? Like, the lines, it's pretty impressive. Impressive how good they've gotten with making it not instantly look 3D printed. I think it's always the support that gives it away, honestly. Like, you look at, you know, like support marks that have left or where it's drooped from lack of support. And those are the things that really give away that something's 3D printed anymore. Oh, no, he didn't. Okay, right on. Hey, you know, though, I mean, if it's awesome, it's awesome. Somebody probably give him $400 for it. But I guess if it was printed in multiple pieces, I mean, shoot, at that height or at that size, I mean, that could have been days that it took to actually print something like that. So it's not unreasonable. Oh, acetone. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got a Jack Skellington helmet that I printed, and it had some nastiness on the top of it. And I actually took sandpaper, just really light sandpaper to it, and didn't really go crazy on it or anything. Just took it over, and every time I had, you know, time during the day in the shop, I'd pick it up and just kind of go over it a little bit. And soon enough, by the end of the day, you couldn't tell there was anything that was ever sticking off the top of it. It looked perfect. So yeah, as long as you got the time, you know, the right tools, acetone, sandpaper. Yeah, now in the acetone, that's like you set it in like a box with the acetone underneath of it, right? And then like the gases just envelope it. And I've painted mostly resin prints. Like this one right here. That's a resin print that I painted. Hard to see. Camera's probably not going to focus on it. But yeah, I painted that. That was my first go at painting a print. I've got like this really cool, like anime inspired Mario stepping on a Koopa Troopa 2. I just never finished it. That one's a lot bigger and requires a lot more attention to detail. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember seeing somebody putting in their prints like on top of it and then sealing it up. But that might have been something different. I thought that was, I think it was smoothing 3D prints, but that might have even been just like an experiment they were doing. Can't exactly say that that was a tried and true method. But I'm sure I've got acetone floating around here somewhere. I could give it a shot. Actually kind of interested. See what would happen. I got a couple of it. I'd like to get some of the lines. Actually, my vape pen caps, I'd like to see what those look like smoothed out. There it is. So, yeah, like these right here are the vape pen caps I make. So I would like to actually try smooth one of those out. Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, this, I mean this is, I made a million of these fucking things, so. Yeah, I made so many of these, they probably do count as scrap at some point. I at least know I got like some test ones where I was trying to get the fit right around the cartridge up at the top. That was probably the hardest part. Is up here, there's got to be a ring so that when the cartridge goes up here, the mouthpiece gets held in place and it all stays centered. So I had to get the fit. I mean, it was kind of a nightmare. So I got so many of these sitting around. And like I said, I got a box of scrap and failed prints. I'd probably make a viral YouTube video of dumping the shit all over the floor with the mess it would make. Yeah, I think somebody'd be able to have guessed it at this point, huh? Or just about 80%. I think somebody could have got it. I didn't really think the support was going to cover the front of it so much like it did. I'll do better next time. So are you on Maker World? I'll follow you if you're on Maker World. If I'm not already. If you followed me, I'm probably already following you back. Because everybody that's followed me, I've followed back so far. But definitely let me know if you're following me on Maker World and I'm not. I'm pretty sure I've followed everybody back. Really glad though. Made it through this whole thing with no microphone issues. I think those are finally going to be a thing of the past. That was the worst when these streams were actually getting like 15 people stopping by at a time. I'd go to get my mic turned on and it would just never turn on again. Like the webcam would stay on, but the mic would just not be recognized by the system. So it's like the new clip-on. That's the way to go. 22 minutes to go. Yeah, somebody could have guessed this at this point. I really should have made this a multicolored paint. But I think it took it from like 2 hours almost to like 12 just to have it change for the support interface. So as far as streaming 3D prints goes, multicolor hasn't been the most popular. Most people want to watch it actually print instead of go into the corner and change filament. At least that's the feedback I've gotten. Every time I've done a poll, people say they'd rather see a single color than a multicolor. Well, let's stick in with single color. Oh, right on. Well, make sure you shoot me your username. I mean, there's a good chance I already followed you, because if you're following me on there, I instantly just follow everybody back. You can't not network enough when it comes to 3D printing. You never know what somebody's going to come up with. I've seen so much cool stuff on every platform, not just Maker World. I can assure you, Bambu Lab doesn't pay me to push Maker World. My models do good on there. That's the only reason why I would push anybody over there. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for stopping by and chatting. I appreciate that just as much as going to Maker World or anything else. So. Hopefully you liked the stream. If anything would help me out, it'd be liking the stream. Nothing tells YouTube that I'm making a good video more than liking it. You know what I wish would happen is that when people came and left, they could give like a quick this is why I think your content sucks survey. Because it sucks to not know what you're doing wrong. I've watched a lot of 3D printers run on YouTube, and I think what I try to do is pretty interesting compared to what's out there. But, you know, you can't force people to sit and watch a machine melt plastic. Yeah, I need to find my next evolution. Figure out which Eevee I'm going to do next. Let's see. Which one do I have? Actually, I need to think about which filament I have and do a multicolor one. Just say screw it. Yeah, I don't have social media either. When I was on there, I annoyed people with like trying to post my music up there. I think like that's probably the biggest reason why people muted my notifications when I was on there, because I was always saying like, hey, I just made a new song, you should listen to it here. And people are like, go away, loser. I want to laugh at dank cat memes. I don't want to hear your music. So that's probably what drove me away from social media the most. I'm a dog person. Cats, memes don't do it for me. Pokemon. There's 10 million Pikachus. I haven't actually done just a straight up Eevee yet. Look at that. Mine is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 12, you type Pokemon. I don't hate that. There's Mewtwo, Bulbasaur. Alright, the Pokemon looking like their butts are sticking out of the wall. If they crash through your wall, it's actually pretty fun. Pokemon chess pieces, that's creative. The Snorlax poop bin, that's funny. Scyther, that looks sweet. I'd probably have the filament for that. So what about Flareon? What if I did a Flareon next? I think that's what I'll do. Confirm. Flareon's next. Yeah, good call. Valentine's Day. Yeah, not a bad call. Maybe do something Kingdom Hearts related for Valentine's Day. I've got a Keyblade up on my thing. That could tie in pretty well. Good idea? Bad idea? I like that heart logo from the original game. That's a good idea. Goes right with what I'm trying to do right now, is take logos and make prints out of them. Or even make like a box that's shaped like the Kingdom Hearts logo and it has the key that opens it for Valentine's Day. Maybe that could be something. That would hit the algorithm hard too. Printing anything like that anywhere near that, it's going to draw eyes to the channel. It's a good idea. We got Earth Day coming up. That's another one. Valentine's Day, Earth Day. That's probably the one thing I don't do good enough, is do like theme prints. Been sticking to ripping off too many things like Pokemon that I know people are interested in. But nobody cares what I'm doing. A lot of people care about Pokemon, so it's kind of the whole idea. You gotta draw people in somehow. No, this is a great print though. Those supports don't look like they've moved even a little bit. Normally they look kind of wavy in there. You can see where the thin ones don't always stay completely stationary. These ones are good though. Heck, it even looks like that one ear on the right could have had a lot less support. I guess making enough, or if it's not broke, don't fix it, I guess. Shouldn't complain about it until I've ripped it off of there. But it just looks excessive. It looks like it could have used a little bit less plastic, just on that support anyway. I almost wonder if hitting it with like a primer or a clear coat might just smooth some of these prints out. Maybe even be a faster way. I haven't even tried that. Like see if like a clear coat, like really heavy. And it's probably gonna start running. Probably gonna cause more problems. Yeah, it does look really good. I can't complain. I do wish I would have done the multicolor print, but I could paint it. It's not going to kill me to paint that. It's really only the eyes and a little bit of the ears. A little thing in the middle of the forehead. I don't know what that's called. I don't know what that's supposed to be, like a telepathy thing. Yeah, this Wham Bam plate held up really good too. I went in there and actually looked at the plate a couple of times, and doesn't look like anything even started to come off of there. So my initial review on that is it's pretty good. Some of my, like my Umbreon, I'd had the original, the cool plate that came with the X1. I couldn't get anything to stay on that plate. So as soon as I could buy a different one, I would, on Bambu website, ordering that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna let the plate cool down a little bit before I actually go in there and grab it, but I'll make sure I bring it up to the cam. Show it off fully anyway. I think the coolest thing so far has been seeing people take like stuff that I've put on Maker World and then use it as their like profile pictures. Seeing that and like all the comments you get back, like how much they love it, or you know, my kid has so much fun with this model. One guy actually said he gave it to his fiance and she loved it and all that, and I was like, man, that's super cool. It's all because I made something and posted online and he was able to download it. And there it is. Or just have a problem and be able to fix it by getting on the computer and drawing up a little model. And one of my wife's coworkers had a drawer of meds that just kind of rolled around in there. And so I made a little, kind of just a little carrying rack that you put them all in and stopped them from rolling around. And without 3D printing, it would have took so much more effort to design that instead of an hour in front of the computer and then another hour watching it print. Oh no. Oh no. We've all been there though. You know what? I actually had this crazy feeling the other day. I was making a logo for another YouTube channel, and I had just finished it up, and I looked up and was like, man, it's been a minute since I saved. I went up and I hit file and I went save file, and it just started spinning and the screen went gray, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And sure enough, the whole thing crashed. That was it. Had to rebuild the whole model because nothing got saved. I mean, we've all been there. Everybody's been there. And that's that. Print's done. Yep, rookies. But you know what? That's how you learn. I mean, even in every job I've ever had, you know, there's things that happen, and every time you go, oops, this happened, the answer is, oh yeah, well, when I did that, you know, blah, 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 boss got way more mad than he's going to get about it on you doing it. So rookie mistake for sure is something that you're just going to have. All right. Well, the Espion is fully printed. Going to give it a couple minutes. Put my ugly face on camera. Boost tokens, hey. So yeah, right now, that's where we stand as far as points. So that means to redeem, that's 490, almost up to 4 cards we can give away. But I'm gonna go get the print off the printer and show it to you. Alright, well, the support on the face doesn't look like it's going to be too hard. Let's try this. Ooh, you know, I think it's just like I said. A little bit of excess support on here. Definitely gonna need some snips to get that off of there. I would honestly modify this profile. And I'd add some distance between the support and the actual model. I could see as this was printing that I didn't like it. And unfortunately, that's why. Too much support. But that's just not coming off of there. I mean, I've designed support that should just break right off. This bottom should break right off. This is junk. Either that, or maybe these. Wow, yeah. This is junk. So this is not my model. I did the old Maker World download. Yeah, I got a heat gun at work. I'll probably try and bust out and correct this. But yeah, I mean, I should be able to take these snips and not really necessarily cut, but I mean, nothing. All right, well, that wasn't bad. Kind of just like that. Maybe it's just going to take a little bit more playing around with it. That didn't come off too badly. Yeah, well, that just ruined the face. I think I'm going to throw this away, modify it, and try it again. I don't even know that the heat gun could fix it at this point. I think I screwed it up. I just think that there's way too much support on this, if you ask me. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Anybody want to say any last words? I mean, this big ass support right here, you should be able to just pull this off. And it is over supported. All right. Well, there's that. That's why you test your models 1,000 times before you upload them. But this one is well rated too. Maybe it's me. I shouldn't be mad. People say some of my models are shit. I know they're not, so I'm not going to crap all over this model. For all I know, my printing. But if you ask me, there's too much support on this. That tail needed 3/4 of that support in reality. I've seen a Bambu printer print that tail with no support. I've printed crazier things with that, but no support. Alright, well, thanks for watching, Pro Sniper. Looks like you're the only one left. You're awesome. Alright, I guess that's it. I'm going to end the stream. Thanks for chatting. Have a good one, man. Take care.